So you just moved out your parents' house and you don't know how to cook? I got you. Let's make a cheesy and creamy, no rule mac and cheese for the holidays. So good I almost broke my ankle. We're gonna skip all those anti-caking agents and shred our own cheese. We're gonna generously salt our pasta water. Now our water is boiling. We're gonna go in with our elbow noodles. Make sure to move that around a little bit so they don't clump up in one space. Now strain your noodles, keeping that pasta water. In the same pot we cooked our pasta in, we're gonna add some butter, some of our hot pasta water. And we're just gonna let that go for about 30 seconds so that we can concentrate the starch in the water. We're gonna add our half and half. Once our cream gets hot before it starts to boil, you're gonna cut your heat off and add your cheese. We'll add half of our shredded cheese. All right, now we can cut our heat on and add our Velveeta. Now we're gonna stir our sauce on a low heat until it's perfectly smooth. Look, season your mac and cheese with whatever you like. As for my recipe, I don't want my mac and cheese seasoned like steak. So we're just using some salt, pepper, and chicken powder. Now we're gonna reserve some of our sauce and build our mac and cheese. Noodles in, mix, mix, mix. Into our greased casserole dish, macaroni. Good mac and cheese is just like an onion. It has layers. And now we're gonna toss this in the oven. So you just moved out your parents' house and you don't know how to cook? I got you. Today, I'm gonna be running back my viral oven-baked beef ribs. Nothing replaces real barbecue, but these right here, that's pretty close. All right, we're gonna use a paper towel to peel the silver skin off. The paper towel is gonna just help us have a better grip on the silver skin. If you need to start the process with your knife, feel free to do that. All right, we're gonna hit these with a nice coat of mustard, but not too much because we don't want this to taste like a deli sandwich. And everybody's gonna tell you to put mustard on your ribs, but I'm gonna do you a favor and tell you to go ahead and add some ketchup to that too. The ketchup is gonna help tenderize the meat and give it a nice sweet flavor as well. Now we can cover this cow with a house-made rub. We don't want one bite of unseasoned beef. Now you can toss your ribs in the pan with a tiny pan of water. And the point of this is to help make sure that your ribs come out nice and moist. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Make sure you wrap it up nice and tight because we don't want any of that moisture escaping. Mama, we made it. We used 3 layers of aluminum foil out here. Now my mom saw me doing this right now. She'll probably still beat me. Now pop these bad boys in the oven at 350 degrees for about 3.5 hours. Now we're gonna go ahead and mop these with some Traeger barbecue sauce. You wanna cover those with some cold butter, toss them back in the oven uncovered for about 15 minutes. So you just moved out your parents' house and you don't know how to cook? I got you. I'm gonna show you how to make my smoked turkey potato salad that you've gotta add to your barbecue menu. Place your turkey leg in some aluminum foil and wrap it up. Now we got some foil and a baking sheet so our dishes are easy to clean. We're gonna lay some russet and red skin potatoes. Now just remember, you can use any potato that you like for your potato salad. Me personally, I feel like red skins and russets are the best combination. We're gonna bake these open faced with some oil and salt so we get a nice crispy skin. And on that same sheet, we're gonna lay down our smoked turkey leg. Now we're gonna bake this in the oven at 425 degrees. The time is gonna vary based on your oven. For our potatoes, we're looking for a nice crispy skin on the outside and a fully cooked potato on the inside. And our turkey legs, we want them to be fall off the bone tender. Just do a rough chop on your potatoes after they cool down. They don't have to be pretty because it's gonna get turned into potato salad. All right, we got our nice crispy potatoes here. We're gonna go to town with some mayonnaise, some finely diced celery, chopped green onions, 1/4 cup of yellow mustard. Make sure to use dill relish, not sweet relish. Or you can just dice up some pickles. 1/2 teaspoon of mustard powder, and a whole lot of African-American pepper. Some paprika, tablespoon of sugar, and we're gonna mix that up. And finally, we'll add in our shredded smoked turkey. Let it sit overnight. Trust Unc. I ain't gonna lie to you. So you just moved out your parents' house and you don't know how to cook? I got you. Now, I'm not gonna say bananas don't go in banana pudding, but I will say that you should serve it on a side like this so that they don't get mushy. So I got called Unc twice in this past week. So as an aspiring actor, I have to commit to the Unc persona. All right, nephew. You're gonna need 1 big box of vanilla pudding and 1 small box of banana cream. Now we're gonna slowly add in our ice cold milk. My grandmama didn't need no fancy mixer, and you don't either. All you need is a spatula or a spoon and a little bit of elbow grease. Now we're gonna add 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, a block of softened cream cheese, 1/4 cup of sugar, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract to mix all that together. And now we're gonna fold in some Cool Whip. Now that we got our filling, it's time to build our crust. Hello? Yeah, all right, bet. My bad, that was my back calling to ask if we can make it with a bottom crust. Some crushed up vanilla wafers and melted butter. And pop it in the oven at 350 degrees for about 10 to 12 minutes. I know you just got the income tax check. Let me hold like $10. A layer of our pudding. Then we'll add a layer of some whole vanilla wafers. Rest of our pudding. Chessman cookies, we're gonna layer those on top as the last layer. Now you're just gonna sit this in the fridge overnight for the best results. Not for real, let me hold like $20 though. Yeah, I'll play my numbers. So you just moved out your parents' house and you don't know how to cook? I got you. Yeah, I know it isn't cooking, but it's fruit salad. And I love fruit salad, so let's make a fruit salad. I like to be able to get a little bit of every fruit in each bite, so I'm gonna dice my fruit nice and small. This is fruit salad. It's gotta be the hardest recipe to mess up. For the grapes, you can just cut them in half. I prefer regular kiwi, but they only had yellow, but yellow works just fine. We got some red grapes. I meant to grab seedless, but I accidentally got the wrong ones. So if I were you, I would grab seedless. And now for our pineapple. I know there's other ways that people like to cut their pineapples. I find this the easiest way. We're gonna lay it down and lop the head off while preserving as much of the pineapple as we can. Now this part we're gonna throw away, or you can save it to throw it at your baby daddy when he makes you mad. We're gonna slice off a little bit of the other end just to level it. Now this pineapple isn't the best that I've ever found before. Luckily we got the honey in our sauce to help sweeten it though. You're just gonna rotate it and cut the outside off. And we're gonna cut around the core. And you don't have to trash the core, you can freeze it and use it for your smoothies. All our sauce is some honey, our orange juice, lime juice. This is optional, but I like to add some tahini. Mix, mix, mix. Pineapple, strawberries, green grapes, kiwi, red grapes, and blueberries.